Hey YouTube, what's going on? Lionheart here, and on today's video, I want to talk about my impressions of Punishing Gray Raven after having played for a month. And we can also fill out the official launch questionnaire together on the video. By the way, if you haven't filled this out yet, it's a free 150 black card, so there's no reason not to do it. There's also a bingo event going on the web right now, which I'll include a link to in the description below, that can also give you some extra rewards if you're watching this video close to its publishing date. And I'll also post a code for you guys that if you didn't already have, you may want to redeem in game because it gives you some free stuff. So yeah, all that and more in this video. Haha. It's also being recorded live and mostly unedited, so it may not be as polished as my usual videos, and I hope you'll be okay with that. If the video is entertaining or you find anything useful, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and enable alerts for future content. And don't forget to like and leave a comment below as it helps me with the algorithm. All right, so before we jump into the questionnaire, there's two things you need to do if you're going to fill out the questionnaire yourself and haven't done so already. And then there's also like one thing I just want to kind of like go through in terms of my own credentials to comment on the game. So I started playing Punishing Gray Raven in its global closed beta for the first time, and started playing on global release. I have no experience playing on other servers, and so my experience is pretty fresh, I would say, in terms of Punishing Gray Raven, and I've only been playing the game for a month, so keep that in mind when you compare me to other people who maybe have been playing longer. I'm currently level 75, and by the way, here's the first thing you need to do for the survey. Make sure to write down your unique ID up here, because the first question on the survey is it's going to ask you for that ID, and it's not going to auto-populate it for you. So you're going to open it up, you're going to be like, oh, I don't know what this is. You're going to have to back out, get it, and then it's going to reset your whole survey. So make sure you write your ID down. But yeah, I'm level 75, and you know, I would say I've done pretty well so far in Warzone. I am currently in the top league, which is Hero, with my teammates Star and Assy, who have scored top literally every single Warzone so far, and it's just been pretty awesome. And then in addition to that, I am currently #1 on Phantom Pain Cage in the advanced tier, and I also took #1 on basic. I did not take #1 on intermediate. I was a little lazy that week, but that's okay. It doesn't save your basic and intermediate. It's really the advanced one that you want to get, so that this highest rank 1 is on your account, and that's the cool part. So hopefully I can hold this down for 9 more hours, and that would be wonderful and make me very, very happy. All right, so and I have all the characters in the game and all that stuff, right? If you go to Construct Army, you can see I have all the characters that have released so far. I've leveled up quite a few of them, and yeah, so I've had the opportunity to play every character and see how they feel and enjoy them. And so when I give you my impressions as we fill out the survey together, you can know that, you know, I'm coming from a position of having spent, you know, several hundred hours in the game so far in the first month, and you know, really taking things in. Okay, so let's go to the survey. Here it is, official launch questionnaire. Click here to begin. We will do so. And oh look, it saved my progress this time. That's kind of cool. Let's reset just so we can start from the beginning. That's how I knew that you needed an in-game ID. That's how I knew that little tip for you guys. I told you there was a second tip, but I don't actually remember what it was. I think there's only one. Sorry for the clickbait. All right, so there's my 8-digit number ID put into the first question. What is my commandant level in PGR? I am 60 or above because I'm currently level 75. And what is your overall satisfaction level towards the PGR? That's such a funny way. The PGR. This is like somebody who went to Ohio State University. You must call it the Ohio State University. That's pretty funny. I'm going to give a 4. I'm going to give a 4. I am not extremely satisfied, but I am above normal. Why am I giving PGR that rating? All right, well, first of all, the core gameplay and combat I think is really well done. I enjoy the extreme evasion system. I enjoy the matching orbs, even though there's some downsides to the RNG, and we'll talk about that either later in the survey or on another video. And it's just overall, the gameplay feels really good. The story is okay. I was hoping to love it more than I did. I felt like at some points the writing felt very weird. It's like almost like shallow, like They weren't really developing characters at all. It was just like somebody making them talk. So I didn't love that. It's like, I liken it to on par with like a filler arc in an anime that you like, right? Like Fairy Tail is a good example, right? Fairy Tail has tons of filler arcs, right? When it's good, it's really good, right? But when it's in filler, it's like, dude, you love the characters, but you hate what they're saying and everything that's happening. And it's kind of, in my mind, a lot of the dialogue in PGR, sometimes it gets to that filler arc feeling, which I don't love. I also don't love their technical performance auditing. My game crashes a lot, and also on the latest patch, for whatever reason, they really messed up the keyboard controls on all the emulators. So like WASD doesn't function as good as it used to on any emulator, and there's like all these weird things like sound glitches, I think, on Mumu and stuff. There's all this like technical performance stuff that they really messed up on the latest patch, which for a game that's been out for over a year in other countries, even though it's only a month old here, I would expect a little bit better on their technical auditing and performance. So I didn't love that. So this is some of the downsides, which I think take away from it being number 5. Also, and I don't want to get too into it, but if you were familiar with the Discord drama, which I have a video on the channel if you want to learn more about what happened, everything associated with that I think was not handled very well. So those things plus technical performance and some other things lead me to give it a 4. And yeah, so that's where we'll put it there. It's good. 4 is a good rating, you know. It's very hard to get a 5, so I think there's room for them to improve to a 5. There's also room, if they really mess things up, to degrade to a 3 or 2, but I think that 4 is where I feel after 1 month. How do you feel about the following aspects of PGR? All right, so we'll go into more detail. Character design. Character design is hard for me. So like some characters are like really well designed, right? Like Alpha, she's incredible. Lee, he's incredible, right? But then there's other characters that I don't totally love. And also, you know, like so like who's an example of like a character that I don't totally love? Like Watanabe, like the current Watanabe. Like I have him and I feel like he's dual wielding, right? But it feels like when he attacks enemies, he's kind of like attacking with paper. Like it doesn't feel good. And I know there's another version of him coming out later that's like super awesome, but the current version doesn't feel great. And then like there's like some characters like Lucia Dawn, right? Like she looks cool, but then like she uses her red orb and she's like heavily rooted in place during her red orb, and you can't move her, and then she's vulnerable to like attacks and stuff. So you know, like character design's probably also a 4. It's probably also a 4. When they hit it really well, right? Like S, Lee, and Alpha, they feel incredible. I think when you hit it really well, but when they miss, it's like a pretty big miss. Scenario and story we already talked about. I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 3. It's borderline between 2 and 3, but I'm gonna be kind to them and give it a 3. Game content systems. I'm also gonna give this a 3. Why is game content and systems getting a 3? Okay, 2 reasons. First of all, and I know this is an older game, but like after having played a lot of Genshin Impact and seeing what you can do with a stamina based game, but allow people to do other things when they're out of stamina, and having played PGR, I feel like their system feels a little dated to me, which is weird because I didn't expect that coming in. And don't get me wrong, there is endless time sync in PGR. In fact, one of the things I don't totally love is that because there's so much randomness in the orbs and in your boss moveset, you can play like a single boss fight. In fact, some of the best players do for 6+ hours to get the best score possible. And that's a crazy amount of time commitment. And for the right player, that's like beautiful, right? But for the wrong player, it's like a total nightmare. And so, you know, when I think about stuff like that, you know, there's clearly no shortage of things to do in PGR, but it would be nice if like not everything was hardcore grinding. If there was just like more to do when you ran out of stamina. And so that piece makes it feel a little bit of an older game. I think it's appropriate for who they're competing with and when they came out, but you know, games consistently evolve and develop, and so, you know, to have more things to do when I don't have stamina that are actually meaningful, if you're gonna charge several $1,000s for a maxed out character, right? You know, you want to be able to enjoy that character in lots of different ways. And in some of their competitors games, right, you can run around and do things in open world or whatever, farm stuff, and you know, in PGRs, not really. I guess you could look at them in the dorm, but like that's probably not super entertaining. Battle experience is a 4. My only complaints with the battle experience, I think, are mostly personal to me or emulators, and then the RNG component I talked about, right? So the battle and the combat feels really, really good. It is a very hardcore game. If you get hit, it's a big deal, and so you really need to learn to evade well. And I will tell you that like the evasion system doesn't read super clean on every move always. So it's like kind of weird, right? They have an audio cue, it's like right, and then you'll see a line or some kind of targeter, and then the target will flash bright. And it's kind of weird because the sound plays early as like a warning, and then you see the line, which is also a warning, and you're not actually supposed to evade on either of those. And if you evade on those, you just get owned, and then it feels really bad, and you're like, you know, mauling at your desktop. And the reality is you're supposed to evade when it flashes. But then not everybody has a flash either, right? Some attacks come out faster, they don't give you that warning, and so yeah, so you just have to really learn the evasion system, which can feel a little challenging. But it's kind of like what makes the game fun and what is, you know, separating different levels of players. So I like that a lot. I don't love that the PC controls seem to always break on the emulators, and so that is going to dock them some. And then the component I was talking about earlier in terms of orb RNG, I don't totally love that. I wish there was a little bit more stability to orbs. I have a meme that I posted on Twitter that's like blue with a billion question marks, and it's me playing alpha with all red orbs, and it's like, really, like I can't do anything with alpha without blue orbs. So I wish there was a little bit more mitigation to the RNG of the orbs, but otherwise quite good. Art style also a 4. The art style is great, but it doesn't rise to the level of current next gen anime. And what am I critiquing on the art style? Okay, so the models look good, shader tech looks good. It's not the highest, but it's definitely near the top. Combat and VFX look great. Their VFX are crushing it, but their animations, have you ever watched some of these slow motion scenes where you can really look at their animations? Like at one point, I think like for like S. Lee, he sits there with his arms crossed with his guns in his hand, like he's laying in a coffin, and he just rotates in a circle and bullets are coming out. And he like uppercuts his guns when he shoots. It's like, dude, what? Yeah, these animations, they're not gonna cut it. Also, the environment's just okay. I don't totally love the environment. So yeah, I would say they did a good job with the characters. They did a good job with the effects, but the animations are lacking and the environments are lacking. Visual effects, I'll give a 5 to. I like the visual effects. I think they're very good for the art style. You know, you can't do these kind of effects in a non-tech world, but I think they did a good job here. Audio, I'll also give a 5 to. I don't have any critiques of the audio. It's easy to understand and hear what's happening, and you know, I know this is labeled effects, but God, if they let me rate the music, I would give it like a 10 out of 5. The music is really, really good. All right, how do you feel? This is a long survey. I might need to go faster. How do you feel about the character design of PGR? Personality, I'm gonna go with 2. I feel like it's flat, like we talked about earlier. I feel like the characters are just kind of flat. It feels a little bit, I think they could do better. That's all I'm gonna say. So like it's weird. I don't know. It's like the interludes are a 4. Like the interludes are like a 4 when you go into like the backstory of characters and you really get to know them. But then like the dialogue between characters in like actual story is like a 2. It's like a solid 2. Maybe sometimes it gets to a 3. So I'm gonna leave it as a 2 to help them aspire to do better. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Appearance of the characters, didn't we already rate that? Am I crazy? It was like up here. All right. Am I crazy? Right? Like this, like the kind of same thing. Art style. I guess that's just overall. All right. Character appearance. I'll give a 3 too. Some characters look really, really cool. Alpha looks cool. Lee looks cool. Kamui's a great character. I think he looks stupid. So I'm gonna give a solid 3. Game control feel. Also a 3. I almost want to go 4. I almost want to go 4, but we've had so many problems with emulators, and they say they officially support emulators that I'm going to stick with 3. Combat balance is pretty good. I can give it a 4. It maybe even deserves a 5, but I'm going to go to 4. How do you feel about the scenario and story? And by the way, the reason why I'm going 4 here for combat balance is I actually think the game's pretty well balanced in terms of gameplay. The only reason why they can't get it perfect is because they tell you a bunch of content you need to be like several thousand, anywhere from 100 to 1,000 battle power higher, and you don't actually need to be that. So if their goal was that, then they failed at their combat balance. That's why I give it a 4, not a 5. How do you feel about the scenario and story of PGR? World background setting. World background setting is cool. I give it a 4. I'm not in love with the world, but I think that the idea that they've come up with the punishing virus and kind of this like hybridization of humans and constructs and things like that has actually been pretty cool. Character depiction, normal. I don't think there's anything outstanding there. Atmosphere, normal. It's what you expect. It doesn't really excel at it. It's not any worse than what I would expect. How do you feel about the game content systems of PGR? Energy recovery event limited. So the problem is that like they should give you the problem with this survey, by the way, here's a little survey critique. They should give you a short description about like what is energy recovery events. Like I actually don't remember. Like I'm trying to decide in my head, is this the event where we got the free skin, free in quotes by the way, skin for Escarnina, or is this like the time where we were getting free stamina multiple days? Because getting free stamina multiple days was awesome. But the other event sucked. So I don't know. You know what? I'm just gonna do 2 because I don't know which one it is. But I think it might be the one that has the Escarnina skin. And then if it's not, you can hang me in the comments and laugh about it. Because if it was free stamina, it should deserve a 5. But if it's the event where you were rolling that slot machine thing, it probably deserves like a 1 for all the reasons that people have already talked about before. Resource stages, normal. I wouldn't say they're any worse or any better than other games. Phantom Pain Cage. All right, hear me out. I play a lot of Phantom Pain Cage, but I'm actually going to give it a 2. Why am I going to give Phantom Pain Cage a 2? Oh my God, dude. Like that just showed you at the beginning of the video. I'm number 1 in my PPC group. Like, why am I giving it a 2? Okay, here's the reason. Okay, here's the reason. First, at some point, the score difference between the top players is going to be so small because your constructs and the difficulty of PBC stop scaling. Well, your constructs will keep getting stronger, right? Because you'll start getting other things. But I feel like you're like scaling is going to start reducing, so they're gonna have to do things to like extend that. And maybe they do in the future. Somebody was telling me like you could get like improved resonance or something. I don't know anything about that, right? I've only played the game for a month. I've only played global. I haven't really paid attention. Why did I say global like that? I haven't paid really attention to much else, you know, in terms of like what's going on in other markets or where the server's going, other than like maybe a glance at character release schedule. So for the current Phantom Pain Cage, yeah, I feel like it's pretty quickly going to cap out. It's going to be the difference between like, hey, did you kill this thing like half a second faster than somebody else? And that's like the difference between ranking 1 and like not even making top 100. And I don't love that. I feel like that's not going to scale well as content. It's fun right now, but it's not going to scale well as content. The other thing that, you know, has really beat me up, I would say, over the last few weeks as somebody who works full time is Phantom Pain Cage is like very sweaty to compete in. Like if you want that #1 spot, I have friends who, I kid you not, would fight a boss for 6 hours to get the best score. And they would do that at each level, right? And starting around chaos, right? So that's 18 hours, right? 18 hours for 3 bosses, and you do that twice. That's such a huge time commitment when you have a normal, you know, day job, and then you're also doing content on the side like I'm doing. It's just like, it's like overwhelming. And the reason you play that way, by the way, it's not, you're not doing that because you're just some crazy person addicted to the content. You're doing that, maybe you are, but you're doing that because the boss moveset has a lot of RNG baked into it and the orbs that you get have a lot of RNG baked into it. RNG is random number generator for those who don't know. So it's randomness, right? So you're basically searching for the perfect run where the boss does exactly what you want them to do and you get the perfect orbs. And then on top of all of that, you make no mistakes as a player, right? Because if you get the perfect boss move and the perfect orbs, but you make a mistake, the run is over. So, you know, there's so much that has to go right to score well. And I feel like they've done it that way to try and mitigate my concern, which is like, hey, it's just going to be 100 points difference between being in the top and not making it at all. But what's happened is they've created a very hardcore environment where unless you have a lot of time and also a lot of money, it's very hard to rank well. You can't just contrary to popular belief, you can't just swipe your way to the top of Phantom Pain Cage. There are a lot of heavy spenders in the game that have not ranked well despite being heavy spenders because you have to put in the time. Also, it's a combo. And so I feel like that's might be great for engagement metrics for Kuro game, but it's not a great player experience, and it's very demanding on some of your biggest supporters who maybe want to be able to rank well but don't have, you know, 18 hours a round of bosses, multiple rounds of bosses to grind for that score. So I don't love it. I'm doing it right now. I'm not grinding that heavy those hours. Those are just some of the people I know who have been able to outperform me before in previous rounds, and yeah, I just think that's it's a lot. And Warzone, by the way, it's the same thing. Warzone has the same exact problem, but actually I'll bump Warzone to a 3. Why am I bumping Warzone up a little bit? I feel like the random moves of the boss are so much more important in PPC than the random moves of your enemies in Warzone. Sometimes you get that one enemy who just jumps away and runs away for no reason. It can be annoying, but Warzone, I think, has some of the similar critiques. The other thing though is that like there's some obfuscation of gameplay mechanics in Warzone. Like I can't really tell. It seems like there's like some kind of like damage reduction that applies. It's weird. There's some weird stuff that goes on in Warzone. So I don't know. I have these like weird theories that I don't want to get into now because I don't know if they're right and I don't want to spread misinformation. But like some stuff in Warzone just seems a little funky. We'll leave it at that. It seems a little funky. So but I think that it's a little bit less hardcore. And also, and here's the kicker: if you rank #1 in Warzone, there's no record of it, right? If you rank #1 in Phantom Pain Cage, there's a record of it, and so it matters a lot more. In Warzone, it doesn't really matter as much. And so my feeling there is you know, it's for your own personal pride. You could still get the good rewards, you can still get the promotion. So I don't have as many critiques of Warzone from that view. I will say the way they segment players can be a little harsh. Like in one group it can be super competitive, like this last week where people were scoring, you know, 600,000 to be able to promote, and then there's another group that's like the top person, you know, is barely 500,000 and most of them are 450,000, and there's all these really good players that are grouped together that could have promoted but didn't promote because they didn't get into the more casual group. So the grouping can be a little odd, and I don't actually have a good solution for that because you would have to be able to predict how much players are going to play, and also where it's more competitive, people are going to play more. So I think it just kind of has to be that way. But it's obviously not a super wonderful thing. But the promotion and the way the system works and kind of advancement and holding down your position, but then having this kind of optional ranking that you don't really get much for, it's just kind of bragging rights. I think that's cool, and I think they did that part of Warzone very, very well. So yeah, so I like Warzone, and also I'll rank it higher than Phantom Pain Cage. But I will say that I'm not in love with either one of these. They're both, and the reason why neither one of them gets a 4 is that they're both huge time sinks, huge time commitments, and so I don't love either one for that reason. Memory Rescue is good. It's just like free stuff. I loved it. It was a fun challenge early on. I really enjoyed it, so that's good. And Golden Vortex, similarly, also really liked. It's been going very, very well, and it's been fun. Co-op. Oh, co-op. I want to love you, but I don't. 2. I'm gonna give you a 2. Why is co-op getting a 2? All right, here's the reason. First of all, the netcode is so bad. If you have packet loss on the client side, listen, I don't know exactly how their code works. Obviously, I haven't seen it, but my theory is this: if you have packet loss on the client side, they don't know how to handle that well on the server side to make up for it. And so what ends up happening then is you have this horrible moment where if your client desyncs with the server, you have insane input lag. This happened to me live on stream with Assy when I was playing with him, and we were trying to do some challenges in co-op in practice where I had client lag and packet loss, and then all of my in-game controls, my inputs, they had anywhere from a 3 to 5 second delay. So what that means is if I hit, let's say I hit attack right now, or I try to ping, I do a 3 blue orb ping, right? It wouldn't activate for at least 3 to 5 seconds. And by the time it activated, obviously the enemies and everything else would have moved and been doing different things. And so I would have been too late. So you can't evade anything. It literally becomes unplayable. So like that should never be in a game, especially a game that's this old. So that super sucks in co-op. And then also co-op feels a little shallow to me. There's not really much to do. Like the co-op isn't really co-op. So what do I mean? Well, first of all, you fight these bosses right in co-op mode, but like most of the time you're grinding events or doing other content that's very time intensive. So most people I know, they only play the co-op mode once a day. So they group with, 2 random people, they get their 1 clear and then they're out, and they just do it for the dailies and they don't even care about the rewards, because the rewards, to be honest with you, they're not that good, right? You're trying to build 6-star weapons, it's giving you 5-star materials. So it's like not the like sexiest place to go. And the resources are nice in terms of like EXP leveling and fodder, but now that we're starting to get events and you can see the ratios on those resources, those seem to be, pretty attractive. And so co-op just kind of gets neglected, I feel, other than like the first time through. And then the other co-op stuff, which is like team with people in Warzone, isn't really co-op, right? It's just you playing by yourself and they're adding your scores together. So I would like to see better co-op, more involved co-op, more fun co-op, and maybe co-op that, doesn't use your normal serum, but has its own stamina or something, so that you had a reason to do it. And I know they have like serum and scavenger tokens, but like, why not just scavenger tokens and forget the serum? Like that would be so much more satisfying to me. The game's old. I think the likelihood of them making any kind of changes to this system are pretty low, but yeah, I just don't love it. I feel like they have the same problem Genshin Impact has, which is like they want to be a cooperative experience, but they don't actually know how to make it or design for it. Dormitory, I'll give it a 4. I like the Dormitory. I don't really have any meaningful critiques other than I feel like it's hard for me to understand the value of the Dormitory. Like I'm doing it because it's cute, but I don't really understand beyond that why I need to do it. And maybe you guys do, and feel free to leave those comments below. But like I think it's cute, but I actually have no idea why I'm doing this every day. So yeah, and that same thing, by the way, goes for their gifting system. It's like, okay, so I'm unlocking stuff, but like towards what end? Like to reveal more lore? Like that's not very exciting. Give me something cool. Give me a portrait for my account, or some kind of title or something I can peacock with. And if it's just like, hey, gift this to your characters so that they tell you more about themselves, it's like, yeah, for somebody that's amazing. For me, not so much. How do you feel about the battle experience of PGR? Signal orb system. Boy, this is tough because I love the signal orb system as a game design mechanic, but I don't love the randomness of it. So I don't know where that puts me. I think overall the signal orb system is pretty cool. I'm gonna give it a 4. I don't love the randomness, but I also think that without the randomness, it wouldn't be what it is. And the correct solution for the signal orb system is not to remove all randomness. It's to simply add some mitigating factors. It's the same thing with like when you roll for a character, right? When you go to buy a character, there's a pity, right? There's a pity because if there wasn't a pity, 0.5%, you could spend a lot of money and never get a character, and that would really, really suck, right? So they make a pity so that there's a maximum price on the character, and then they hope you hit that maximum price every time, so they make a bunch of money, right? Signal orb system should be the same way, right? It's like there should be a pity on that signal orb system. It's like, okay, you haven't seen a blue in this while, you're gonna see a blue, and that should happen, more often than it does. And definitely it shouldn't be possible to totally fill up on one color, in my opinion. So, but maybe that would be abused. I don't know. I'd have to think through it more as a game designer. I'm just telling you how I feel as a player, not as a game designer. Stage of difficulty. 3. I'd say anything's too hard. I wouldn't say anything's too easy. Just right in the middle. Battle motion. I don't even know what that means. I gotta be honest with you. I don't really know what that means. Is that like the flow of how we move around? I'm gonna give it a 3 because I don't really know how to rate it. Battle visual effects are pretty good. I can give a 4. Not all of them are good. They don't get a perfect because some of the enemy visual effects are very, very hard to see. Your effects are really, really good, but some of the enemies' attacks sometimes can be hard to see. And also there's like some weird stuff. Like, I don't know if you fought against Iron Maiden. She has like she shoots like 3 spikes forward, but it actually shoots all around her. So like, why? So like, you can't get a 5 when you have stuff like that in your game. How do you feel about the visual effects of PGR 2D portraits? 2D portraits are average quality. 3D models are good. The 2D, I'm just not wowed by the 2D art in this game. The 3D models are good, but not perfect for the reasons we discussed earlier in the video. Map design is like a 1. Map design is just absolutely awful. Oh, there's a no opinions, a 0. Wait, hold on. We're going back. I realize 0 is no opinions. All right, I'm zeroing battle motion because I don't really know what the hell that is. All right, moving on. UI buttons, interfaces, etc. I like the minimalist UI. I actually think they do a pretty good job with UI. I'm trying to think if there's any places where I've gotten stuck, where I didn't know what to do. There's a screen that lets you see all your memory affixes. That's actually not super obvious to get to. But I think their UI on average is actually pretty easy to navigate. I haven't found a lot of spots where I was confused. I'll give them a 4. They're above average. How do you feel about the audio effects of PGR? Character voice. Well, seeing as the characters almost never speak, I'm gonna just go ahead and hit a 1 right there because they don't speak all that often. Yeah, I'll that's not totally fair because this is why this is not a great survey. So how do you feel about the audio effects of PGR, character voice? One way to interpret this is, do I feel like the characters talk enough? Another way to interpret this is, for the very few times that the characters talk, do I feel like the voice acting is high quality? Whenever you have a question in a survey like that can be interpreted 2 ways, it's a bad question. You need to more narrowly tailor your questions. So they've kind of screwed up. And there's multiple questions like this. Is the first time I'm really going in on it, but like you got to get rid of questions like that. All right, so for character voice, if we're talking about how often there's character voice, it's a 1. If we're talking about the quality of the character voice, it's a 4. I think it's good. I think it's good when they speak. I think it's good. I'll meet in the middle at a 2. I don't, it's a bad question. BGM's great, 5. Battle sound effects, 4, as we talked about earlier. Which of the following issues have you encountered while playing PGR? Textual description, clarity, insufficient info. Yes. Payment has not been a problem. Failing to buy an account was a problem for me on closed beta, but not on global. Optimization, problems. Graphical issues, problems. Connection, problems. Reward setting. I don't know what that means. I don't have any reward setting problems. I'm not sure what that means. Performance issues, yes. Textual display, I don't think so. There's probably been some text cut off that I didn't realize, but I can't think of anything right now. Others, I'm sure there's stuff, but I've already checked enough things. Which of the following performance issues have you encountered? Game crashing in game, yes. Game crashing on launch, yes. Device overheating, yes. Frame drops, yes. Holy moly, guys. Yeah, we've had it all. Which of the following textual description issues have you encountered? I would say stiff expressions for sure. Very stiff. Very, very stiff. And that's probably the main thing. I'm sure there's been typos, but I'm not going to mark it because I can't think of one right now. Functional textual descriptions, I have not had any problems with. Yeah. Which of the following connection issues have you encountered? Failing to load, reconnecting. Wait, which of the following connection issues have you encountered? Okay, failing to load, reconnection, requiring relog in. I've had all of these. Oh my God, this is making me scared that I'm checking every box in their technical performance stuff. What has most affected your gaming experience in PGR? Most affected my gaming experience. What does that mean? I guess it's whatever you want it to mean, right? So like, probably it's the community, honestly. The community, which has been supportive of content creation and also very competitive in leaderboards. I also enjoy the core combat, but wish it had some less. How about just less randomness? I don't know what else I want to say here. I mean, this is an opportunity. The trick here is that this is an opportunity to tell them one thing, just one thing you would like to improve of the game. So let me do this. Let me do it. Let's not miss out on the opportunity. One thing that would significantly improve my experience is more real-time co-op content that is not stamina serum gated, but you need better netcode first. LOL. All right, there we go. I think that's my one wish piece for PGR. How did you learn about PGR? Friend recommendation. Which device platform have you been playing PGR? iOS, emulator on PC. Which emulator have you used? Mumu and LD Player. Oh, it won't let me select both. So I'll just do this. Mumu and LD Player. They should let you select more than one. That's a mistake. They should let you select more than one. Where or how do you usually discuss PGR related content? Twitter, chatting groups, YouTube, Discord, Reddit, others, Twitch. Did that work? Wait, where did it? Okay, there it is. Okay. Maximum of 5 selections. All right, well, delete chatting groups and add Twitch. Yeah, let's do that. What sort of PGR related content do you usually discuss on these platforms? General discussion, suggestions, game news, yep. Fan art, yep. Achievements, yep. We don't talk that much about this, actually. We do on occasion, but not like a ton. I don't know about any merch. If you know about merch for this game, post it in the comments below. Would love to see it. Community events, speculations. Oh, maximum of 5. Okay. I see. Well, let me do that. I would say we talk about speculation more than fan art. And we do a lot of guides too. Guess I could dump game news and put guides. Why would they limit that to 5? That's crazy. When you encounter issues in PGR, getting stuck in stages due to insufficient understanding of mechanics cannot beat a stage. How do you usually solve such issues? So this is asking, we're playing and we can't get through it for whatever reason. By the way, it's a little condescending to say you are stuck because you don't understand how you're supposed to beat it. That's a pretty condescending question. I don't know that I would phrase it that way. You might want to check who wrote question 21 and make sure that they are okay. So if I need to solve something, I usually just solve it myself, or I talk with friends about it, or sometimes I'll talk with other players about it, and that's my main purpose. I simply live with the issue. Yeah, can I check that also? Oh no, it won't let me check that. It's too bad. That's such a they don't put meme answers here, because so many people are gonna check this and not give you a real answer on this. Now you should include meme answers. Yeah, if Kuro Game, if you end up seeing this video, you need to check out whoever wrote question 21 to make sure they are okay, because I'm not sure they are. Which of the following platforms have you played games on the last month? PC, console, mobile? I've done it all. Which of the following console PC games have you played? This is who they think they compete with. So this is always fun. It's always fun to read a question like this because this is then you're in the developer's head around who they think they compete with, and you can decide whether or not you agree. So interestingly, I have not played either Scarlet Nexus or PSO2, even though they're definitely inside my my wheelhouse. Monster Hunter Rise, I've done. Kingdom Hearts, interesting. Not well, this is if you've ever played. Wait, this is just if you've ever played them. Okay. All right. That's good. Well, if you've ever played them, I've played a lot of this stuff. Yeah. Maximum of 5 selection. I see. All right, let's do this, dude. Let's do this. I like that they didn't put Genshin in here, and I'm gonna put it in here. You don't want people to know about your closest competitor, do you? Do you, you dirty Kuro game? Well, we're gonna throw it in there, dude. Honkai Impact ought to be in there also, dude. All right, there it is. Genshin Impact. Wait, so why wasn't it listed up here? That's so interesting. Which of the following types of mobile games you played last month? So I've played Genshin. I have not played casual puzzle in the last month. I have played strategy. I don't play sports. Have I played simulation in the last month? Probably not. I have played a gambling in the last month and MOBA. Oh god. Sandbox, yes. Not in the last month, but I do play shooters and I do play card games. Which of the following anime style games have you played before? Yes. Oh, can I just check them all? I've played like all of these games. Can I just check them all? You know what? It's too bad it won't let me. Let's do this instead. I'm gonna leave that one and I'm gonna hit this. I have played all of these games. There we go. Where do I currently reside? I am in the Americas. Which country region do you live in? This is a long list. The United States of America. I am a male. If you would like to have future contact with PGR Dev Team, you could leave your email address here. You can email me at my professional email address there. Please share with us your expectations or suggestions for PGR. Each feedback is important for us to enhance the game better. All right, guys, this is our chance to shine before we hit submit. It's also your chance to shine and really tell them what you think. Well, you've been with me. If you're still on this video, amazingly, you've been with me for 42 minutes. It's a long video, but yeah, that's just how it goes. You know, we covered a lot of topics and a month is a long time. So here's what I would say. Here are my things. First, please improve. Oh, I can't type. Technical stability and emulator experience. Can't do that. The latest patch made all of these worse. Second, please add more meaningful co-op experiences that don't require serum. Third, please add, you like I just keep adding please. You gotta be polite. You gotta be polite to people, you know what I'm saying? Please add a mitigating system to orb randomness so we can spend less time repeating the same content for the perfect run and more time focusing on our own skill controlling the characters and evading. What else do we want, guys? What else do we want? Also, if you can improve events, so we are not repeating the same stage for 30 days to grind event currency. That would be wonderful. I mean, let's talk about it, dude. You know, that's a very old mobile model, right? When mobile games first started doing live ops, it was very much that. It was like, leave your phone on, don't pay attention to it, let it just run this stage on repeat, and that's good. But PGR, you can't run on repeat. You have to manually play, and to manually play the same level like several hundred times over a month is very tedious and not fun, right? If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna make a level like that, it makes more sense for it to be like a boss fight or like something interesting. But like it's like very tedious. Like you have to run across like multiple waves of enemies, right? In the current event I'm talking about, right, Frozen Darkness, it's like you're farming. Once you've done everything, you're farming on repeat C1 or C4 or C5. C1 or C4 if you want the most event currency, and C1's for memory fodder, and C4's for weapon fodder. And then C5 is if you're looking for some 6-star memories and you don't care as much about the weapon or the event currency, you're just getting a little less event currency. And but like, it's such a nightmare. It's such a nightmare to repeat that, and it's not really fun content. So yeah, I think they got to do something else. They got to figure out another way to run their live ops events if they want to compete with like the modern day mobile games, right? Which are live ops events. Some of them do still do that, but like a lot of them, they're much more involved. They're much more like fun. In fact, actually, one of the reasons why I stopped playing Alchemy Stars is because when their first event went live, I realized it was just, hey, you're going to just repeat this one stage over and over for the whole event to buy out the shop. And I was like, this is a nightmare. This is not what I want to be doing. So hopefully they can fix that. I would also say, I don't know, I'm pretty okay with everything else. Maybe more reasons to improve relationship with character besides unlocking lore. Unlocking lore. Honestly, this is personal to me, not to you guys, but better content creator program. I am in it, but not sure what being in it has done for me as a creator. It's a personal thing to me, but like I have the same problem with MiHoYo's content creator program. It's like I was in it and it was like, and I'm still in it, but it's like, why? Why? The people who chose not to be in it, who just talk about leaks, are like doing significantly better than most people who chose to be in it and play by the rules. So like, if you're gonna go through and create a content creator program, I feel like you really need to like think about how is it going to benefit content creators. If you're making a program for somebody, you got to imagine making like a airlines frequent flyer program, but then not thinking about how it would benefit flyers. It was just like, yeah, you're part of our club, congratulations. Okay. And what does being part of the club mean? It means you're part of the club. You would never join it, right? You would never sign up for that. It would be stupid, right? So why do that with content creator programs? And I'm gonna say that's exactly what Core Game has done here, but like, yeah, I don't know. It's something I'd like to see them improve on. What else? Maybe so if here's one for my free to play friends. If you are accelerating the content release schedule for new characters, be sure to also accelerate the rate at which free to play can earn black cards so they can still get all the new characters. This is coming from a whale. To me that feels like a good suggestion for all you guys, and if you're still on the video, I feel like that makes a lot of sense. And also it's something that they should do. If they're going to speed up the cycle of characters releasing, they should also speed up how many black cards you're getting. Free to play characters. You're not characters, you're players, you're people. Free to play people, players can get, roughly like 5,000 black cards a month, and you need 15,000 to guarantee a new character, and then you're going to want their weapon most of the time, right? So then that's another 7,500 that you're gonna have to get. So if they start speeding up character releases, but they don't speed up how much black cards you're earning, then what's gonna happen is you're gonna get characters that are gonna become obsolete faster, and you're not gonna be able to keep up, which is an unfair squeeze on my homies who are free to play and not deserved. And also, you know, I don't even want the squeeze as somebody who spends on the game, right? I would rather, you know, be able to benefit from the extras, same as you guys. So yeah, so let's hope that they do something like that. And then I don't know, I think that covers it. I like to make a joke of never shut down the Discord again, but I don't think it would be taken well. So that's it. That's our survey. Wow, it's been almost 50 minutes to get through this survey, but I think it was good. We talked about a lot of things, and I was able to give you my insight onto how I feel after playing the game for a month. Let's go ahead and submit this. It's submitting. Your opinions and comments will push us to develop Punishing Gray Raven much better for our future release plan. Please follow us. Thank you. Have a nice day. You think this person really works there, or you think this is a stock image? You think this is a stock image of just somebody they found on the internet? Oh man, that's pretty funny. Okay. All right, cool. Well, look, hopefully that was helpful. I gave you guys some insight into things that I've experienced in the game and my feelings on the game and where it's going. Hopefully there's lots of room to improve. I think Kuro Games has it's singular, has a really good foundation here for a game. The thing that concerns me is that the game is a year old, and having been a year old, some of the things that I would like to see from them, I would have expected to already be in, or to have been bumped up in their release schedule to make it in, so that, you know, it was in a good spot. I can understand not wanting to rock the boat, right? If you launch a game and it does well, you don't want to change too much about it because you don't want to do something that's going to mess up its performance, especially on a global release. So, you know, as somebody who develops games for a living, that's me. I totally understand how they're approaching it. But yeah, there's still lots of room to improve on this game, and it's a really good foundation, and I hope they take the opportunity to do those things. If you have any questions about anything I talked about in the video, and if you're still here, you're a fucking saint, because excuse my language, but this was a very long video. Yeah, if you're still here, please don't forget to follow the channel, subscribe, enable alerts, and leave a comment below, like the video. And if you have any other questions, you can find me live on twitch.tv/Lionheart. I stream every day except Saturdays, late into the evenings, Eastern time. So yeah, just come by and feel free to ask me questions. And don't worry if I'm playing another game that's not PGR, I will still answer PGR questions. Sometimes some of the things I do in PGR for competitive reasons are done off stream, so I don't let people know how I'm scoring and other things. Yeah. All right. Great video. I'm glad I could go through all this with you. It is way longer than I expected. I'm gonna get out of here, and I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you on the next Punishing Gray Raven video.